This meeting is being conducted via Zoom. Meetings of the Board of Assessors are generally recorded for transmission on both the Berlin Cable Television Access Channel and YouTube. Your voice, image, and/or telephone number may be recorded. This is Kevin Pond, Chair of the Board of Assessors. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me calling the meeting to order. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Bev Wheeler?
Here.
Roger Bradley? He's not.
He's coming.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll call him in a minute.
He's still on.
I've lost Peter. Hold on.
Okay. Let me do the staff here. Oh, there's Raj.
Here I am.
Okay. So you're here, Bev's here. Okay. So staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Molly Reed, Assessing Director.
Here.
Joanne Winecoop, Property Lister.
Here.
Okay. Anticipated speakers on the agenda, please respond in the affirmative. Can Peter hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I thought I unmuted myself.
All right. With a quorum of the board present, I call this meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. on
Yes.
Monday.
We lost Bev. Oh, there she is. Hold on.
Okay.
So what did you say? 60 what?
6:02 p.m. on Monday, April 10th, 2023. Okay.
Excuse me 1 minute. It
Yeah.
said you cannot start your video because the host has disabled it. That's
No,
why you,
it's recording.
okay.
All right.
Oh, you. Wait. You should be able to do that now, Bev. There you
Okay,
go.
there I am.
Okay. All right. So my thought was to let Peter go on first so he doesn't have to listen to our agenda and meetings. And we'll see if we can answer his question or questions. I guess is if somebody else has a different program, that's fine, but that would be my first thought. So Peter, if you want to take the floor and ask, I guess, your questions, we will start with that.
Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I think some of you may know the issue I've come to your board about is the commercial classification that's been assigned to the property. And my request is that after this meeting, or during this meeting, you consider removing it based on what I have to share with you. I have some documents to share and personal info to share, and I wonder if this should be an executive session or regular meeting.
I didn't set up an executive session, so I don't have another Zoom link to go to
Okay.
to make it an executive session.
All right. So bear with me if some information is missing. I'll make a short presentation if that's okay.
Yep.
So there's no commercial. So the issue is whether or not this property should have a commercial use designation, which it does. There's no commercial use on the property. There's no area exclusively utilized for business enterprise, and no customers or public are serviced at our residence or on our property. I asked Molly for guidance on how an assessor is to determine when there's a commercial classification, which applies to a residence. Unfortunately, Molly hasn't given that to me, and that's why I'm at the meeting, because we can't debate the issue whether it's commercial or not until we have some guidance from the state, for example, on whether a residence is to be assigned a commercial classification. So let me turn the dogs off. Sorry, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. So I'm hoping that after you hear what I have to say, that the commercial classification will be removed. Whatever data that shows 183 Randall, the subject property, is purely a mailing address. My office is in my car or at my desk, my home office, or wherever I am. Molly pointed out to me that the state has told her, which is accurate, that I have one employee. I have documentation, which I'll share with you if you'd like to see it, that she works from her home on Cape Cod, never comes here. I've got some, is it okay, Kevin, is it all right if I share some documents?
Well, I don't know that we need too much personal documentation. So I understand you have no employees. The address is 183 Randall. It's a mailing address, right?
Right, I mean, it's
For what? It's a mailing address for what?
for the business.
For what?
For the business. I'm a private investigator, as some of you know. And
Okay, it's for your business. Okay.
right. The income tax, I mean, I've got stuff that's redacted that I can share if you choose to want to see it. The income tax returns are filed in New York and federal, non-Massachusetts. Classification codes are provided by Molly, and she shared a Chapter 4 property tax classification, which doesn't, hold on a second, which doesn't talk about whether or not a property should be designated as commercial. It only talks about how to classify, how to use the codes. From the Berlin website, which is the town of Berlin.com/assessors, et cetera, it includes its definition for commercial includes any property held for the purpose of conducting a business such as office buildings, retail stores, et cetera. That's from the town website. From the Appraisal Institute, primarily intended for the sale of goods or services to consumers and end users. Numerous uses related to the sale of goods or services to consumers. Examples include, but are not limited to, many retail sales, gas stations, convenience stores, et cetera. I won't read the whole list. Microbreweries, animal services, pawn shops, and barbershops and laundromats. And it's a long list. Very long story short, nothing commercial goes on here.
Okay. In that, excuse me, Peter, in that list, did you say it provides a service? Did you just say that?
Let me look. Conducting a business such as office buildings, retail stores, for the sale of goods or services to consumers. Right. I don't do that here. Nobody shows up here.
Okay, do you supply a service from that location?
No.
When the phone rings for your private investigation business, how do you answer the phone?
Hello.
Hello. Why do they call 183 Randall Road?
They don't. They call my 212 number, which is a New York number, and it forwards to here.
Okay, so the call does come to 183 Randall Road then?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
So what I would like to find out is what the state believes is a commercial operation, rather than these definitions I've gotten from online. And then we could easily determine whether it's a commercial use. I have a home office, just like any other person that has a home office that doesn't get charged a commercial rate. Again, the Berlin website says includes any property held for the purpose of conducting a business such as office buildings, retail stores, et cetera. I don't have a commercial operation here. I'm not a contractor. I don't have people show up here.
If you look up your private investigation firm, it does list 183 Randall as its business address.
I have no choice. I've got to list it as a mailing address. No one ever shows up here. No one ever has shown up here, ever.
Okay. All right, so no one shows up, okay.
The phone follows all of us, as you know, whether we're in Berlin or
It does now.
Timbuktu. What?
Okay,
Now that everyone has a cell phone, you can't get away from it, right?
all right, and anything else, Peter, on that? So you're basically looking for, why are you being, quote, taxed partially at a commercial rate? Is that the $1 million question, or?
Close. It's
Okay,
it's close. I'm arguing that commercial rate doesn't apply because I'm a home office, just like many townspeople and state and people around the world. I'm a home office. That's all I am.
okay,
In order to get licensed in this state as a private investigator, I had to register this business. I had to register as a business. That's why that's.
and you have a license in Massachusetts. Do you also have one in New York?
I have one in New York that's active, and my Massachusetts one has expired. I've let it lapse. I don't do the private investigating thing anymore in Massachusetts.
Okay,
I don't do much of it, period, because real estate is really what I do.
okay. Do you run a real estate from that same office?
No,
No?
I'm an owner. The real estate is in New York State. And Stephanie, which is my admin, does the admin in Cape Cod. And the guys that work for me are in New York State. So the office, the tax return, which I'm happy to show you.
No, I don't want to see that yet. No.
It's redacted.
Okay.
It's-
What
it's-
is, it would be, I don't know if we need your assistant's address. Probably not. I'm not going to go there. Okay.
Well, I mean, I can tell you it's your report.
No, we don't need
Yeah.
that.
I have payroll records, which are redacted, so I'd be happy to share those. I'd like to share them. Would that be okay, Kevin?
Your payroll?
It's a page from the payroll.
No, I'd feel uncomfortable. No,
All it does is show the work state and city and employee work location address. It doesn't show any.
So
personal
is that what you report to the workforce development?
We don't report anything. The payroll company reports whatever they report. This is a page from, that I would show you. It's a page from the payroll portal.
I feel uncomfortable. I don't think I need to see that. If we need that, we'll, I guess, be back in touch with you, Peter, if you don't mind. I just don't want.
I guess we don't question how many, that the number of employees would be for the small commercial exemption, which you get. So that's not, that doesn't have, well, it sort of has something to do with this, but not on the level of whether he's a business or not.
Okay, so at this time, I don't know that we can answer your question, Peter. Okay, so do you have anything else to say?
Well, I'd be grateful, regardless of what the board decides or doesn't decide to do, if the board or Molly would provide me with guidance on how an assessor is to identify a commercial property at a residence. I cannot find it, and Molly has not given it to me.
Right.
Because if we had that, we'd be in business. Then any of us could know the answer. But I've
Right.
not found it, and Molly
Okay.
has. So that would be the minimum. I'd be grateful to hear from the board or from Molly.
Okay. So what is the question? Identify, what was the
Well-
statement? How or why?
How an assessor is, the guidance that an assessor needs to determine whether or not the commercial classification is to be assigned to a residence. Right? We could all of us could debate the issue till doomsday, but the state has to define it for an assessor, otherwise, or for a board of assessors. Otherwise, how can he or she or it make a decision?
Right. Okay.
And I have about 6 weeks to go until I have to file with the appellate tax board. That's a lot of work. It
Yep.
doesn't make anyone winners. We all lose.
Yep.
I'd be really grateful if we could resolve this.
Okay. Right. I think, does anybody have a different understanding of Peter's question? Anybody want to comment on that? Joanne, did you want to say something?
No, but I will. I did participate in searching for, and I thought we did answer the question. I will go back and read it again, but I did think that it was covered. in
Okay.
What we found. I don't have it right now, so I can't.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I have, Kevin, I've got it. I've got what Joanne's talking about. And
You
I'll just
do?
show you this document.
Yeah, that's,
So what that document says is the classification tax policy choices and considerations. When you go to that spot, it talks about multiple use properties. In coding a property used for more than one purpose, assessors must determine the property's primary or predominant use. They must also allocate the value of the property to the different classes. And it goes on and on about digits and so on. It doesn't anywhere say how to define whether a property has a commercial designation. It only
okay.
tells the assessor. It
Right.
only tells the assessor how to input it. That's all this says. I'm sorry.
Joanne, is that the document you think you sent to Peter?
That is one of them. And then there was one
thought
other
that-
chapter, one other paragraph.
Right.
Uh,
Right. I don't know if that ever made it to Peter.
No, I did
Oh.
get a different document, and I'd be happy to pull it up and share it. It doesn't help.
so you
Okay.
want to know how many brick, like,
Pardon me?
you want some hard definitions of how to do this, right?
Well, guidance. None of us really know if my circumstance or anybody's circumstance fits the bill of a commercial, partially commercial residence. And without that guidance, each assessor and each board of assessors would make up their own rules.
Well, the guidance is basically that chapter 4, but
But there is no guidance in there, Molly. It only talks about classification codes, only. Kevin, would you like me to pull up the other document that Joanne referred to?
No, I don't know if that can, if it didn't answer your question, then there's no need to pull that up.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, okay. Anybody else?
I have a quick question. All these documents come from the DLS
I think,
the-
I
or the
think, they do.
DOR?
the course
Yeah.
4 chapter comes from the DOR, and most of the other information that I sent him is Mass General Laws.
Which does not appear to be answering the question. So
Correct.
well, I guess we'll look it up in a different manner, different fashion. So, okay. Um, do you want to continue, Peter, or are we good with?
I think I'd just be beating it to death.
Right, okay. Yeah, I don't disagree.
At this point, it's just, I'd like the board to consider whatever information is whatever guidance we find, hopefully that Molly finds, that will answer the question and there won't be a dispute.
Right, okay, yeah,
Is it okay if I come back and then for the next meeting, because I really have a finite amount of time for the ATV?
What's your drop dead date for the ATV?
Give me a second. Off the top of my head, it said June 1st. So we got some breathing room. And there's no reason why Molly and I can't resolve this. I just can't.
right,
I just haven't found anything that will answer his question.
right, okay. So,
Definitely.
right, so,
No.
okay.
So,
Anybody else have anything else to say? Okay.
So Molly, can you set a deadline by which it's convenient for you to get me some guidance?
Yep.
Next week, is that okay?
Well, it depends on how long it takes me to find it, because this is all the stuff I've been able to find. So I will do my best to find you more information, but
with all due respect, you haven't found any information that provides guidance.
Right, okay, so with that, why don't we go, I don't know, think we can go 15 days, Molly, or?
well, our next meeting is April 24th or May 8th.
Right, but that doesn't mean we can't have the information.
No, if I
previous
find
to
anything,
that.
I will set
Right,
it along.
right. Okay, so with that being said, is May 8th too late, Peter? That's what, 1, 2, 3 weeks out?
That gives me 3 weeks to go. Would it be okay if we just checked in on April 24th?
Yep, yes, let's do that, our next meeting. Yep,
Thank you very much. And Kevin, I know that Molly and the open meeting law doesn't permit 3 of us or 2 of us to discuss this, but could I discuss this offline with you, Kevin? I know that's permitted.
let's just table that for a little bit. Let me see if I can get the question answered. And
Okay.
then I don't know if I'm going to be able to supply much more than what I know at this moment, Peter. So,
I just feel like I'm a little bit of a stopping point with Molly. That's why I'm concerned.
okay, so we made an agreement that we'll do the best we can in 2 weeks. If we have it before that, we'll give it to you. If
Okay.
you can read that, and if you don't get that term, or if that's not satisfactory, you get back to us. We're going to try multiple avenues here to get an answer, Peter. We're not going to wait till 2 weeks from now to try and get it. So
Understood.
from here moving forward, I think we'll be working on it. Okay. If we
Perfect.
have an item, maybe we'll email it to you. You can read it, come back. Maybe you're going to get 2 or 3 emails from us. I don't know. So we'll just see where we go with the information we can get.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
All right. I'll let you guys go. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Enjoy the warm weather.
Okay. We are. Thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to stay on for a few minutes. If you don't,
All right.
I'll be muted.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to make you go back to an attendee.
Sorry.
We can move to our, what are we on, minutes for the moment here?
Yes.
Okay, Molly, you want to read those minutes?
Yeah, hold on.
This is a good, excuse me.
Yep, you're
Joy-
leaving.
Joanne,
gonna-
are you
okay.
leaving us?
I am leaving.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any
All right.
issue. We'll
I have-
talk,
but- but I'll-
tomorrow. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say what you need to say. Go ahead.
Oh, she's breaking up. She's,
She's got to go to a meeting. Deb.
And
yeah, she's going.
no,
Do you want me to?
okay, it's gone.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hi, Joanne.
All right. So we'll take her up. She heard Peter. We'll take it up tomorrow or whatever tomorrow is. I don't even know what today is. Never mind tomorrow. Okay. So,
So I can read the minutes this week because my cough is almost gone.
oh, that's right. I guess I don't have to read them. Oh,
Unless you really
Go
want
ahead.
to.
no, you go ahead. We'll start. And one thing, Molly, right on the minutes in the first section, call to order, it says the Board of Assessors are generally recorded. Meetings of the Board of Assessors are generally recorded. Is that true now? We're generally, or some of
are.
them don't get recorded?
We are recorded. Yes, if it's a Zoom meeting, it's recorded.
Right, so do we put generally in that sentence?
I copied it from somebody else. We can change it any way you want.
No,
I don't know. I copied
I
it
don't-
from the Board of Selectmen.
I was sitting outside today, just before the meeting, I'm reading them like, generally recorded? What does that mean? So either we are or we don't, or, but I can see in meeting, when we have a in-person, that wouldn't be
You
recorded,
wouldn't be
right?
reading that, right?
I'm sorry, what?
You wouldn't be reading that because of a recording if it was in person.
Right, so wouldn't it just be the meeting of the Board of Assessors is recorded?
Yep,
Yeah,
I will change it.
okay. That's, I don't know, maybe it's on our other pages. The first time I saw the word, I'm like, where'd we get that? Okay,
All right.
All right.
So the
we'll
minutes
start with the
from
minutes.
March 27th, we were all here. The meeting started at 6 o'clock. The minutes from March 13th were approved. The correspondence with city and town, it had some excise resource information in that publication. I told you that we had a public info request for 25 Carr Road. We looked at the Warren Group issue 2, which was a combination of January and February, I believe. And then I gave you all copies of the annual 22 sales listing from Warren Group. The town administrator had forwarded from the select board, they wanted all department heads to do an overall review of the town administrator. We were advised to make sure that if we are using cable access, if we have any cancellations or anything, to make sure that they're informed. I told you under my director report that the town warrant articles for the exemption status was in the town warrant, and they also had reviewed the solar pilot for part of the warrant. There was some email on that the Zoom meetings was going to end on March 31st. That has been extended to March 31st of 2025. So you can have Zoom meetings until March of 2025. The Sears ATV case was continued till July 2023. I informed you of the Appraisal Institute was having a panel meeting, a panel educational session for ATV appraising. And the rest of them are the education that's coming up. IAA land, the Vision User Conference, and I talked to you about account balances. And then you came in and you signed the approved minutes, use excise abatements and month ending, and real estate month ending and exemption month ending. And you adjourned at 6:30 to stop by and sign the paperwork.
Molly, under signature items, the third sentence down is real estate and personal property. Is that the, it
Yes,
says,
real and personal month
right,
endings.
right. So it should be real estate and personal. Is that,
Yeah, I can expand it.
oh, okay. Yeah, I think we ought to. Because it looks like real property and personal property. So I'm like, what's real property? So, okay. All right. Anybody note any admissions or errors? Bev?
didn't
No,
see
I
it.
don't.
Okay. All right.
I motion to approve.
All
I
right.
said,
Okay. All those in favor? Bev?
aye.
Roger, I, me, I. Okay. Moving off the minutes.
Okey dokey.
All right, we're on to agenda.
So, I sent you the email that the, annual town meeting is available online, but I sent you the link that I got sent. So,
Where are we here?
the first thing under correspondence,
Yeah,
I had forwarded you the email that I got from the select board saying that the town meeting warrant is available online. And it also had the document attached. So you can see what's coming up at town meeting.
okay.
That's the one they're gonna mail out, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, do they mail it out? I thought it was available at town meeting. Oh, no, that's the annual report.
That's the town report, yeah.
Okay, sorry. So annual town meeting will be on May 1st, 2023. And then we got the March building permit log. And you sent in that article on tax title. That was pretty, Kevin brought in an article on a tax title property that was taken and sold for a profit. And this has been going on. You can, the treasurer collectors can assign tax title properties to an outside source or sell them to an outside source. And these people have been physically taking the property from the person, not setting up any payment plans or anything, and then turning around and selling the property at a high profit. So people are losing all their equity in their houses if it's in tax title. This was also happened in New Bedford, I think it was. So this is the second article I've seen on this, so I'm sure that there'll be some guidance or DOR hopping in to let us know that things are going to change or whatnot. I'm not exactly sure, but I'll have that out there for you guys to read.
Yeah, I don't know how they would control that, Molly. You know, it just, I don't know. Does everybody understand what's happening there? Bev or Rod, you understand that?
Yeah,
They-
kind of get,
Yeah, if somebody owes 50 grand on their taxes, the town takes it and then sells
Forecloses on it.
or forecloses and then sells it for 350. You know, they get their 50, but they're making money off of it, and the poor person who's left is out in the street talking to their lunchbox here. So anyway, just kind of interesting. Okay, Sorry.
And we got a notice from the ATB that the NSTAR gas hearing is scheduled for Monday, October 30th. I don't know what they're doing.
Well,
I thought we had that all settled, but the Assessors Association is working on this with them also, so.
but that, Molly, is basically, that procedure is set by somebody else, correct?
Right, right.
Okay, so we just
Well,
total up the footage or miles in our town, and that's what it is, correct?
right.
Okay,
There was that, the whole thing used to be net book value, but now it's a blended, it's net book value and some other information that they're now supplying to us. And that's what they're arguing over, the terminology again, where they've lost now in the ATV 2 or 3 times, utilities, not necessarily NSTAR, utilities for this blended approach to valuation. And they've lost twice at the state SJC. So I don't know what they're trying to do.
you think there's a possibility we'll have to refund some money there?
Hopefully not, because we're doing the way we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean much if they, quote, find it's, less value or something. Okay,
Right.
well, anyway, we'll just go with the program. Whoever says what, that's what we'll do. Okay,
We got our assessing directives we've got our email from the DOR, dear assessor. This is a courtesy reminder of the certification directives issued by the Bureau of Local Assessments at the conclusion of your community's last certification review. So we've been looking at these 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 5 things that they wanted us to address. One of them was cyclical re-inspections, which they always say they wanted us to make it so that the next, that this go around would be done by our next reval, which is 2026, which it should be. The land schedules, they always want you to review your land schedules because there's hardly any sales of valid empty land sales. And also the basement garages, we have it done. There's 2 different ways that it's being done now in the system. One's to either call it however many bays there are, or to put it in the sketch. And the DOR wants us to change them all to be in the sketch because that's the way they like it. And then the last one is the apartments were being valued differently, mainly because they were at the apartments on River Road, they were at different stages of being built, and the land values were going along with that. So that was corrected for FY23, and the other directives we've been working on right along. So there's that. I've didn't know if the board wanted to make any comments on the review that the select board wanted to be done for Kristen. Did you want to make any comments or anything? If you do, let me know in an email or call me.
Did you send us a copy of it?
I forwarded you the email that the select board wanted. The department had in interest, but because we're so special and we're elected board, I wanted to see if you wanted to know anything. I can't rate her on everything because I don't have that direct relation.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of,
Well, I believe they only want you to rate on what you know about.
right. So that's what I did. And I found a news article on, it was from the International Association of Assessing Officers. Do solar farms really hurt property values? And they're saying that they did a study. They analyzed 1.8 million home sales near solar farms in 6 states and found that it did diminish the selling price of a property if it was near a solar farm. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Did it give a percentage, Molly? Of decrease?
Minnesota 4%, North Carolina 5.8%, New Jersey 5.6%. 3 other states, California, Connecticut, Massachusetts, had price changes that were within their margins of error, which mean the price effects were too close to zero to be meaningful.
There we go. I'm
So
good
we're
with
safe.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
I met with the mall on their ATV case as a pre-ATV hearing. They gave us some information and we gave them some information and we're reviewing it. The mall the mall is very dead. I can't believe when I walked through there that there was nobody there. They're trying very hard to get, the receiver is trying very hard to get even temporary people in there, and it's not going very well. And their profits have significantly gone down. So we have to be aware
Is
of
the
that.
mall in receivership?
Yes. It has been since 2022, 21. So, and they informed me that the buses are moving in August to, I think she said they were going to be parking in Hudson.
They're
So-
moving back to Berlin. They're in Marlboro now. They're moving back to Berlin.
No, they're going to Hudson. They've always been in the Berlin side of the mall.
I know.
And I'm going to ask, I just saw that we're going to do that follow-up meeting with personnel on the 12th for the job descriptions and the follow-up on the 6-month review, the 90-day review for the administrative assessor. So,
Okay.
Kevin, are you going to come with me on that one?
Probably. I'll try to work that out. You need to tell me what time that
Yep.
is.
I need to follow up with Kristen on that.
Okay.
And
Yep.
then you just have to come in and sign minutes, excise abatements. There's one exemption who just got it in by the deadline. And then, and Kevin, you need to sign payroll. And then our next meeting will be April 24th.
Okay. Yep.
But and I'm retiring in July, so I'm trying to get certain projects done so things will go smoothly, like the valuations and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Couple things. Have we have any idea how significantly this mall is going to impact regular residential taxes?
And I'm gonna be trying to work on that also.
Okay,
So this week, well, in the next, before the 12th, I want to get the job descriptions updated. And some other stuff. Matt from CMRP came in today with our street maps that the new fire chief had asked about, and I'm hoping to meet with him to give him that map and also to talk about when homes sell, they need to have their fire inspection done. And I'm hoping maybe we don't have to follow them, just to let us know what day they're going for their inspection. So it will be a better chance of us going on that day so that someone's there to let us in. Because we're not having a very good success rate of getting into sales and permit without numerous phone calls and a lot of hassle. So, and I'd like to also discuss with him, maybe starting up a land use monthly meeting, which would be, planning, building, fire. We used to have those when not Chief Clark, the fire chief before him, whose name is escaping me, but he used to call land use meetings, and it was nice for us to know what was coming down the pike. So I thought I would discuss that with him also, because we need a better way to be able to get into these homes.
okay,
And Jack did say that he was willing to help us out this spring when he's going to call us. He had both hips done, and I don't even think, he wasn't even in the hospital overnight and was up walking right afterwards. I was very impressed.
don't we have somebody doing some of them now, Molly?
Cyclicals?
Yeah,
No, because winter just ended. We sort of didn't push it during winter because although this
Right.
winter was kind of mild, but
but isn't, so,
I've reached out and tried to get price quotes from people, and I haven't been successful at that. So I know a couple of companies that do just cyclical inspections that I'm going to try and reach out to next.
well, if it doesn't hurt, we could just kind of wait, maybe call Jack and see when he might be ready, if we don't
Oh, yeah.
have anybody.
And he
I
said,
thought,
no, he'll probably, what is this? When the weather gets better, warmer.
that'll be Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's supposed to be 90. So I would give Jack a call,
well,
just,
he
so
told
we
me
had-
he's going to call me when he feels that he can do it.
okay. So, are we moving forward to find somebody in the meantime, or are we
Yeah,
just gonna,
well, yeah, I've been asking around and.
Okay. all right. I'll leave it at that then. Okay, as long as we have somebody on it, and if Jack comes back and there's only 10 to do, then that's,
Well, there's more than 10. to
yeah.
do.
But if this other guy does some, and,
I forgot that we also lost a year because of COVID, because nobody was letting us in or anything. So we're gonna, I'm gonna work with Joanne on, so we have 3 years. We have 4 years left and 3 years to do it. So we're gonna have to divide it up a little bit better to get it done in 3 years.
okay. A little more aggressively,
Yeah,
fine. Okay. All right.
and that's,
Are you in the office, Molly?
yes, I am.
Okay. We have to go in there and sign. Are we relatively done here, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
All right. Anybody have any questions?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
So I
Go
have
ahead, Bev.
650.
Yes. Bev, you going up tonight to sign?
Yes.
Okay. Raj?
Yeah,
All right. I'll be ready.
Okay,
All right.
All
Just
right,
stop now.
Alright.
You can meet him at the corner.
our next meeting is April 24th. And
Okay. All right. Adjourn
Oh,
at
I have
6:50.
to stop recording.